What's good, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I will go in depth of why I feel like Marvel Rivals will slowly decline and cave in on itself, right? Some of these reasons is not inside the developer's control, and I do know that. And some of these reasons may not be reasons people may leave the game, but it could be like some reasons some players might not play the game as much, right? And I will try to explain best as I can, right? I got a script right next to me. I'm gonna let everybody know. So I'm gonna explain everything, and I have spent time to write this as best as I can. And most of these things is not biased or anything like that, right? At the end, it will be biased because this is my overall point of view and how I think this game can be fixed inside my opinion, right? And half of this came mainly from TikToks. Right, I seen TikToks of people talking about it. I seen YouTube videos about people talking about it, and I decided to put this out like this own collage of my notes right now that I feel like I want to talk about with everybody. So first, I would like to speak on the balance of the game right now, the OP characters and the constant meta switches with the characters. First, they start off OP. The next update, they either get gutted or they get even more powerful, and sometimes remain OP until they get nerfed, constantly changing the meta and how certain characters are played, right? Like how Daredevil, how he just got nerfed with his Sonic Dash or whatever it's called, right? He's having to get more closer to people and stuff like that instead of having to be able to stall from an angle and stuff like that, right? And it changes how certain characters may have to go about things, right? And that's how I'm trying to speak about it, because it'll constantly change how a character needs to be played or how a character needs to move. How Iron Fist inside the previous season, he was not a damage dealing percentage character, right? But now that he's every single Iron Fist main is mainly farming tanks because they have the damage to fight tanks. They're no longer going after DPSs or healers as much, but they're mainly focusing most of their damage and target priority on tanks now, right? Second, the community itself have become a hive mind, became a collective mind, no longer able to form opinions and not being able to think for themselves anymore. They spend so much time listening to others' opinions and following in that direction. They don't know what's right or wrong anymore because all they do, they just want to hear what bigger influencers are saying and only following after what they say, right? That comes down to people like Spider-Man and Black Panther. People claim that Black Panther and Spider-Man were strong even though had no buffs, had no changes, or none of that. Black Panther had a nerf back all inside season 1, and that's when he got his shield reduced from his dash. After that, right, Black Panther had no changes after that, right? And people claim that he was S tier, he was OP, right? Same thing with Captain America. I'm going to be talking about this Captain America thing. Yes. The whole situation with Captain America, how people want to call him S tier out of nowhere, that's something that's mind boggles me till this day, and I don't understand that, because once a YouTuber like Flaps say that Captain America's S tier, that's when everybody want to claim he's S tier, and I don't understand that. And I feel like this game will decline on itself because once one person says something, everybody else is gonna follow along with it, and it just honestly, I don't know why. Third, it's not really a reason, but it's something I would like to speak about because it's something that has been brought up, and that characters are getting more skin than others. I do find it extremely annoying because Magic constantly getting legendary skins. Luna, she's constantly getting skins back to back, right? And sorry, I need to clear my throat. While some Ultron, some Hulk Ultron players, y'all know, they've been on TikTok about it all the time, how they rarely get skins, how they rarely get legendaries, right? And the one time they do get skins, it's either absolutely horrendous or it's an epic with the most low effort MVPs and stuff like that, right? And I feel like they will literally continue this because they know that the community will eat this up, right? And I know certain characters like Jeff. I know everybody talks about Jeff a lot. Jeff is supposed to be like a mascot character, I heard, right? He's supposed to be like a character that like a little poster boy, right? And I don't mind that. Give the poster boy all the skins, but you're just giving unnecessary character skins and they already got a whole bunch, like people like Magic or people like Magic or Luna or like Invisible Woman. Well, Invisible One got hella skins actually, so I can't exclude her. But y'all understand what I'm talking about, right? Fourth, questionable things that the community has noticed, and I don't want to assume NetEase is doing this on purpose, but some things are just too out there to not assume. Quote-unquote racism between characters. Don't get me wrong, the Blade spray that's just of the new summer event did rub me hella wrong, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. The shackles broken, I don't know what the hell that was about, and that shit is weird, right? And not to mention, it looked AI. I'm gonna be honest with you, it looked hella AI, right? and how BP, Black Panther, Blade, and Storm is constantly being left out of different things. Like this summer event, none of them got skins. During the disco, barely, like, none of them got skins, right? I can't even say barely because there's only 3 of them, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and finish this right after this clip. Hold on, let me pause. Finishing off the topic of what I was talking about earlier, right? When it came down to the quote-unquote racism that has been talked about inside the community, with certain characters like getting left out of, you know, how that whole spray thing with Blade, or how during February there was no skins for the black people, or being left out of disco, it has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And some people, you know, with they feel like, you know, since there's a little bit racism at the game, no one would want to support that, right? And you would assume that some people would sit there and not play it, right? And it does get it has been brought up multiple times, and I have everything categorized, everything that was brought up that makes people think that, right? Second off, right, down to all 3 of these characters being exceptionally weak. I'm gonna exclude Blade from this one, but in fact, Blade is actually really good. His damage is really good, his lifesteal is really good, and I don't think Blade is that bad, right? But people claim that BP right now, with like other characters topping him off and healers being able to patty cake, people think BP is like just trash now, right? They think he's just another tickle monster, right? And same thing goes with Storm, right? Ever since her nerfs, people think that she's weak again, right? And how they're so quick to nerf these characters, right? Down to when Blade got his tech nerfed, where if you use his primary fire, like if you switch to his primary fire, you can sit there and put anti-heal on the entire team, right? Y'all see what I'm talking about, right? They were so quickly getting ready to patch these items after these takes was figured out, or these characters was strong at some point in time. They were ready to already pack up and nerf these characters, and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, how they were so quick to nerf these characters, right? And the whole Moon Girl topic, I'm biased against that, right? Because there's 2 sides of the argument, and I agree with both sides, right? She could have been a character inside this game, but at the same time, that is an 8-year-old girl, but she do has an 18-year-old form inside the comics that they could have used, or some people even came up with ideas of her even being a hologram on the side of the screen for Devil Dinosaur, right? And I'm on both sides here because there was multiple workarounds. How Penny, she's 18 years old. I know she's not seen inside the robot, yes, but it is also left to be acknowledged that there is still workarounds that they could have done, right? And so I'm gonna leave that Moon Girl topic. I'm not even gonna talk about it because I don't even think it's even a topic that I even need to mention, because that's something totally different, and that's something that I probably should have talked about way long ago, and it's probably way too late to talk about now. All right, and now we're gonna talk about my overall thoughts and feelings, right? This was a pretty short little conversation talk, right? And I thought this video was gonna be longer, but no, right? So starting off, my overall thoughts and feelings is, at this pace, Marvel Rivals need a good comeback. Make some big changes to damage, character balancing, right? And give skins to people who need them, because it will encourage people to play those characters. Because some characters who barely got skins, why would some people want to play characters? And you know, I don't got skins for that character. I want to look nice when I'm whooping ass on the field. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Right? Next is more character diversity. But since the next few seasons are already planned, I doubt they're gonna have more character diversity. They only right now they have I know they have the Hood coming out, and apparently the Hood is Hispanic, right? So that is he's Hispanic, so I'll take that for now, right? Next, issues with the community, because everyone listens to one person collectively. They decide they are right at that moment where everything goes downhill, starting with BP and Spider-Man, or basically any dive character, and it's basically there's nothing that like you can really do about this community, right? They're going to sit there and they're going to swear up and down that, you know, these characters are broken and strong, and they're going to keep on listening to these people, right? They're going to let these people influence their games, and they're going to sit there and collectively agree on one singular thing, right? And we already know how the devs work. The devs listen to the players, right? And everybody knows that. And I love that person, that the devs listen to the players, but it also comes down to the matter of fact of, if the devs going to listen to every single person, you can understand how if everybody listens to one person, that can go downhill very quickly. being known with Flat saying that Cap is S tier, even though it's not S tier. But since everybody collectively came to a hive mind that Captain America is S tier now, that's how it basically started, by one person with a big influence saying that a character is strong, and everybody's going to say that character is strong, right? So y'all can imagine how it would be, right? So I feel like the community just need to have a mind for itself, have a mind of their own, and stop listening to these big influencers who sitting there talking out of their fucking minds and stuff like that. You know, sometimes, half of the time, they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just talking just to talk, right? And I'm not bashing these creators, right, at all, right? And I have respect for all these creators because they still, at the same time, they still have their reasons of why they feel like this. But sometimes you just have to think about it logically. It just doesn't make any sense why you would put some of these characters on S tier platter for no reason besides of what other creators say. Because if you're going to say, let's say, if you're going to say that Penny is S tier, right, I want to hear why you think she's S tier. Give me your experiences and why you think she's S tier before you spout nonsense that you heard from a creator, right, and say, oh yeah, I think Penny is S tier because this creator said no. I want to hear why you think that person is overpowered and OP, right? And there's been instances where people were right, where I can agree to, you know, characters being strong, like Bucky, Fine Bucky, right? He was a monster, he was a demon, right? Because of his hook, he had to slow down and everything like that, right? And everybody can agree Bucky was a demon, right? But when it came down to people who like died, like Black Panther having no changes, and he even been nerfed from his shield region, right? And we're just going to say that he's S tier and he had to get all the nerfs that he had, right? I personally just think that if the community gains a mind of its own, that can really influence the balance changes of this game, right? Because it will make the devs actually like balance these characters in their own respective ways instead of what the community thinks is strong and whatnot. Because in the next few patches, I expect a Captain America nerf. They did it with Spider-Man and they did it with Black Panther. I expect the Captain America nerf to come soon because of the community. But these are my own personal thoughts. These are my own personal feelings, right? And just know I love each and every one of y'all. Feel free to put criticisms in the comment section. Tell me what I said or did wrong. And yeah, have a good day. Also, everybody, I'm gonna add this inside the video because I forgot to talk about it. The also tank, you know what I'm saying, y'all? The tank problem, you know, well, main reason why people are also leaving is because there's not enough tanks nor support, you know? The support mains are leaving because the support mains are stuck playing the same 3 or 4 characters over and over again. Tank mains are stuck playing a few, like, only good tanks out there whenever it comes down to it. Everybody's not trying to play Mag, Strange. Nobody wants to play those people, right? So that's also another reason I forgot to mention this other video. And this is actually post-production, right? So yeah, because I had made that video like a day earlier and I was editing it till I realized I missed the main key point was there's not enough viable tanks nor strategists no more. So everybody's stuck playing the same tanks over and over again. Nobody wants to play that, right? Because them tanks suck. Like, it's not the fact that they suck, it's the fact of why would I look like playing Strange and I played Strange for 10 seasons straight. And I hope with the new additions of the Hood and Jubilee coming to the game, apparently, I'm gonna say apparently, they add something new to it, right? Because when they do, that will be something, you know, that will hopefully revive our rivals player base, right? Because mainly right now it's plagued by duelists, right? Last time I checked, most duelists are playing healers right now, and you know how that's going, or they're playing tank and they're playing tank horribly or not correctly, and that's currently making the game like harder and harder, right? Because people who actually play tank and know the fundamentals of tank, they no longer play the game anymore because who wants to keep playing these characters? Like, there's no way you're gonna sit there and wake up and play Strange and Mag for 2 hours straight, no, 8 hours straight on rank, and you're gonna be doing the same thing, right? And let's go to practice setting, turn off. Alright, you're gonna be sitting there doing the same Magkin and dunks, right? And it's like, nobody wants to keep on doing that over and over again, right? The only fun part about these tanks is their ultimates. Other than that, nobody nobody wants to like sit there and play Strange and Mag. Like maybe you like Strange a lot and you like how you could get the cool clip with the Agamottos, you know what I'm saying? All right, and I can respect that. I can respect that. But there's no way you enjoy playing 50 out 100 hours of Strange, and you're gonna say that's fun. This is fun gameplay to everybody. These are meta tanks, by the way. These are the two meta tanks at the moment, right? Besides Thor, he's fun and mind games meta, right? And that's actually like pretty cool, right? And I can't argue when it comes down to Thor, but Emma, she's also kind of cool anyways, right? But when push comes to shove, everybody's back onto Mag and Strange at the end of the day. Let's be honest. And I forgot to add that into the video, and I'll add it right now, and I'll be posting this later on tonight. All right.